What is poppin' YouTube? The trade deadline may have already passed for you, but I want to give you one final trade video to go see if you can make some moves before the start of week 11. The first player we're going to be talking about is Puka Nacua. Puka Nacua was the waiver wire darling of earlier in the season. And now, yes, has it kind of cooled down the last few weeks? It has. But the thing is with Puka Nacua, when we were talking about him and his split from the first 5 to 6 weeks, we were putting him in the same type of category as Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, just an absolute elite level rookie wide receiver. And yes, Cooper Kupp coming back, did that hurt Puka Nacua's total upside a little bit? Yes, but at the same time, Puka Nacua also hurt Cooper Kupp's elite level upside. But I still have Puka Nacua as a top 10 wide receiver rest of season. And even if Matthew Stafford, let's say Matthew Stafford, he doesn't play this week, he doesn't play the next week, even with Carson Wentz for the next 2 weeks, I still think Puka Nacua, especially as we are going towards the playoffs, is a wide receiver I'm looking to target. And yes, has the last few weeks not been good with 7 and 6 fantasy points. I mean, we have to go back to week 7 for us even to look at Puka Nacua versus Joey Porter, 23.4 fantasy points, put him as a wide receiver 5. It's been a little bit of a roller coaster since Cooper Kupp came back for Puka Nacua, but I still have Puka Nacua, like I said, as a top 10 wide receiver. Who are some guys that I'd be willing to go trade, get Puka Nacua? I'm willing to go trade Devontae Smith, willing to go trade Mike Evans. I'm even willing to go trade Jalen Waddle. If I can offer those guys up for Puka Nacua, that is a deal that I'm looking to do currently at this time. So go see if you can go trade for some Puka Nacua. I think that's a great move for you. My next guy that I think you should be buying is going to be Nico Collins. Nico Collins, we saw what Tank Dell did last week. We see what Noah Brown's doing in this offense. CJ Stroud's absolutely balling. Nico Collins, he was someone that we were looking at like, wow, we really missed out on Nico Collins. We missed out on the evaluation in the pre-draft process. Comes back, and Nico Collins has been the one in this offense. I mean, Tank Dell maybe is the more explosive wide receiver that we would be considering. And Nico Collins has been just way more consistent. When we look at week 9, he had 14 fantasy points. But whoever has Nico Collins, with him being out the last few weeks, again, and then previous weeks, 7 fantasy points, 12 fantasy points, 6. It really hasn't had a great, amazing, big blow-up day since week 4 versus Jacksonville when he had 34 fantasy points for Nico Collins. But Nico Collins is still someone that I like rest of the season, especially considering the fact that we're seeing this Houston Texans, CJ Stroud-led offense continue to cook. If I can trade Adam Thielen, DeAndre Hopkins, even if I could trade Zay Flowers to go get Nico Collins, Amari Cooper, Michael Pittman, those are all wide receivers that I would prefer to have Nico Collins over all those guys. So go see if you can make those deals for Nico Collins. I think going into the rest of the season, that is someone that I'm looking to buy. My next buy is going to be Aaron Jones. And we literally had a live stream last night where a lot of you were saying, what am I supposed to be doing with Aaron Jones? Am I supposed to be selling high, getting rid, selling low? Should I buy him? Caleb, what are your thoughts on Aaron Jones? And I think Aaron Jones has definitely underperformed this season. I mean, it's no surprise with his injuries, with this love-led offense. It's been a struggle. I mean, Christian Watson struggled. Aaron Jones has kind of struggled. And I have Aaron Jones right around my RB21 rest of the season. And while that might be lower than where you were drafting him, I still would rather have Aaron Jones over a Raheem Mostert or Ramondre Stevenson. Now, I'm not going as far as to put, Joe Mixon, Rashad White. Like, I still have Aaron Jones behind those guys. But when we're talking about upsides, Aaron Jones is here. And he's kind of forgotten. He's kind of in this back end middling RB2 category where I honestly think we could still see Aaron Jones like have really great football ahead of him rest of the season. So I would be willing to go trade James Cook. I would be willing to go trade Kyron Williams. I'd be willing to go try to trade Ford. I'll go pick up some Aaron Jones. He's my next trade target. And I'll give you one more player that I'm trying to trade for right now, and it's Breece Hall. If you've been on this channel for any sort of time, you know that we love Breece Hall. We were just a little bit worried about him earlier in the season coming off that ACL. And boy, did Breece Hall prove us wrong. The thing is with Breece Hall in this offense is just Zach Wilson continues to be inefficient. They're just lacking any sort of touchdown type explosion. This defense is absolutely carrying the Jets team week in and week out. When we're looking at some trades for Breece Hall, I still have Breece Hall as a top 5 running back rest of the season, but there might be someone in your league that maybe doesn't view him that way. So if I could trade DeAndre Swift, Josh Jacobs, Tony Pollard, maybe even you could maybe convince me on whether I want Bijan Robinson or Breece Hall rest of the season. I think all those are moves that I'd be willing to go do for Breece Hall because Breece Hall is all the volume in this offense. He's getting all the touches. And yes, has it not been as great as we were hoping for? Yes, but I do like some Breece Hall. Now, if you're talking about some players that I might be looking to trade away, I think I'm starting to sour a little bit on Saquon Barkley. Yes, is Saquon Barkley getting 30 touches a game? Yes, but in this offense where it just seems to be the Saquon Barkley show, he just does not seem efficient. He doesn't seem efficient at all, and it's not his fault. He's getting 30 touches for, 3 yards a carry when they're able to stack the box because Tommy DeVito just can't throw the ball down the field. So I have Saquon Barkley currently as my RB14 rest of season, but there might be someone that still values him a little highly. So like if I can flip Saquon Barkley and get into Kenneth Walker, if I can flip Saquon Barkley and even get Jahmyr Gibbs, if I can flip Saquon Barkley and honestly even get into Isaiah Pacheco, like I think those are moves that I'm willing to do with Saquon Barkley. I'm sorry. I hope Saquon Barkley lands someone better in free agency next season, but it's just hard for me to tell you to hold on to Saquon Barkley. My next player that I'd be willing and shipping off is going to be Amari Cooper. With no Deshaun Watson, splits between Amari Cooper with Deshaun Watson, with without Deshaun Watson is very, very bad. Shout out to JJ Zacharyson, who late round quarterback on Twitter. 17.6 PPR points per game, 24.2% target share per game with Deshaun Watson. Without, it's 9.1 fantasy points, 25% target share. So he honestly gets a better target share, just way less efficient. And that's to be expected when you have these backup quarterbacks throwing you the ball. So definitely Amari Cooper, someone that I'm looking to sell. And my final player that I'd be interested in getting rid of, saying sayonara to, is going to be Brian Robinson Jr. Brian Robinson really has had a few really good games this last week. I know the running back landscape, the running back position is hard to have someone that can produce valuable fantasy points for you. But if I can trade Brian Robinson for Kyron, even if I could trade Brian Robinson, Aaron Jones, those are moves that I'm looking to do. I just don't trust this Commander schedule coming up, as well as, yes, Sam Howell's look good throwing the ball, but really a lot of their success is on the volume of passing attempts that they have to have in this offense. So Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dotson, Sam Howell, they put up decent fantasy football days. When he goes off and has 1 or 2 touchdowns, of course that's going to look good in your fantasy football lineup. But for me, I just don't love Brian Robinson the rest of the season, so I would be looking to get out. Appreciate you guys tuning in. We will be streaming on Friday night. We will be streaming on Saturday night, so make sure you tune into that. Hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.